Hi, today we're going to set up your Endless Loom to make a leather wrap bracelet. Choose your sizing bars as usual and assemble your loom, but this time add the two largest easement bars, one on either end as shown. Now you can use your loom to measure your leather if you like. You simply wrap your leather cord 2 times around for each wrap that you wish your bracelet to have. Say you're making a 3 wrap bracelet, then you would wrap around your loom 6 times and then 1 additional wrap, which will leave enough leather to make your knots. You can slide on your button at this time, either a shank button or a hole button, as long as your leather fits through. Slide it to the center of the leather by matching the 2 ends. Slide it down and tie an overhand knot to secure your button. Set your loom aside for now. We'll get that back in a minute. But we're going to start our beading off the loom. Now to begin your thread, you want to pass under the knot and wiggle your needle through. Okay, see it's coming through. I don't want to split my leather, but I want to go under and pull it through. Sometimes a pair of pliers help get your needle through. Okay, draw it through. Leave a tail and you'll hide that later. Okay, wrap a half hitch around one of the sides, passing over the leather, okay, and then through the loop you just made. Okay, pull that snug. Do it one more time. This is knotting our thread onto our leather. Go through the loop, pull it tight. Okay, now your thread is secure. Now I like to ease into my design by adding smaller amounts of beads to begin with. In this one I added single beads, then a couple rows of 2, and then a couple of rows of 3 before I brought it out to the width of the beads I was using. I'm using 2mm leather cord at this point, and I'm going to add some size 8 seed beads. I come up the center between the 2 leathers, bring the seed bead into the middle, and go over and around and back through and come up. It's a figure 8 movement around the 2 side leathers. And we tuck that bead right in there. I like to do 2 passes through the starting beads so they don't try to squeeze out from between the leather. I'm going to go around one more time, back through the seed bead. Okay, and give it a nice tug. You can trim this tail if you'd like to get it out of your way. There we go. Okay. Now do one more with a single seed bead, or I could start adding 2. I think I can add 2. Come around our starting side, up between the leathers, tuck those inside, get over there, around through and up. Around the left side, up. Okay, now here's where you want to wiggle it so that the single one is between the two and your leathers are being aligned evenly. Okay, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to bring it out a little wider by adding a size 11 seed bead accent in the middle. Oops, pulled my needle off. Okay. Around, back through the beads. And one more pass through the beads and up. Get them where I want them to be. Pull it snug. You'll notice a big difference if you only make one pass rather than the two. I know it takes a little bit longer, but your bracelet is more secure. Okay. Now I'm going to add my accent bead. I have these pretty little faceted jaspers. Isn't that pretty? Cup up between. Drop them in there. Go around. Go back through. That's pretty. Now I like to go through stone beads a couple times just to strengthen the thread. They could be a little rough sometimes. Okay. Yeah, like that. Okay, bring this around, do our little accent again, and then I'll show you how to attach it to the loom. You have to do a little bit of the beadwork off loom because it ends up on the side where it's not easy to access. Okay, bring these guys into the middle. Around. Okay, now we're going to attach it to the loom. You start with another elastic, wrap it around your button a couple times, and then you're going to attach it to the side of the loom here by wrapping around the little wooden knob. Give it a few turns. Okay. So you can see how that ends up on the side. So we're going to wrap around our loom. Make sure you've got your easement bars in place. Don't allow the leather to cross over. You want to keep it flat and parallel as you work your way around the loom. Okay, very good. Now as I get near the end, I'm going to tie a temporary knot. One that we can take apart later. I'm going to add another elastic to that knotted area. And then, just as we did here, we're going to pull our leather snug and then attach it to a side button here. There we go. And now you're ready to work your weavings on the rest of the bracelet. The reason we added these easement bars on the side, we can take our elastics off now, wrap them around the end, get them out of our way. Take this one over here, because the leather will hold them in place now. We don't need to have them in the way. Okay, as you stitch and you work closer to these end bars, you bring the easement bar up, and it gives you a lot of area underneath to work. So you can bring your needle up and under, push your beads up, and follow this around the edge as it pushes the beads and the leather up. Then you go across this open area and do the same thing on this side. You bring this one over, it raises the leather up, you can work underneath of it as you work your way around. And in this manner, you can work a whole wrap bracelet in your hand. You don't have to worry about having a big long framework. Now, as you get close to where you're opposite the button, that's when you want to take it off and try it on for size and see where you need to make your knots for your sizing loops. If you have any questions, you can always email me at beadpatterns@aol.com. Thank you.